Football, or how others might know it as soccer, is the most popular sport in the world. It's the national sport in many countries around the world and is especially known in Brazil and Argentina. One thing is certain, the rules of the game aren't constant, but change or amend over the years, and some of the rules are just weird or unexpected. For instance, a player can get a yellow card or a red card for committing a foul and anything that the referee considers wrong. But did you know managers and coaching staff can also be handed the infamous cards? Yep, some managers are known for their raunchy antics on the pitch and sometimes go a little overboard. Referees are allowed to book them yellow cards or even red cards if they cross the line. They will usually miss the next game and be confined to the stands above, where the assistant manager will take over. It's even possible to get a red card before a game even starts. If a player decides to act up before the kickoff, the referee can hand them a red card and the team will be forced to start the game with only 10 players fielded on the pitch. A manager has to announce the starting 11 players when the game begins, and if someone is given a red card, then the manager cannot replace the player. They will have to start with one player short. So, you better behave. Given that this rule is permitted, no match proceeds if 7 players are starting the game. Otherwise, the match will be forfeited. This can be because some players were naughty and got the red card, or if there are some injuries or any other reasons. There can be 4 red cards given during a game. Otherwise, the match will have to be stopped if more red cards are shown. So what happens if your goalkeeper gets injured? Well, throw in the backup keeper as a substitute. And what will happen if the sub gets a red card or is injured? There's no other goalkeeper backup in the squad, so any outfield player will have to take the goalie's place. They will have to wear gloves and turn on their saving and diving instincts to keep their team above water. Goalkeepers are only allowed to hold the ball for 6 seconds after saving the ball or recovering it. Any longer than that can result in a booking from the referee, since they might consider it to be time wasting. The goalkeeper is the only player allowed to hold the ball with their hands, but only in the penalty box. If they catch the ball outside, they can be booked or sent out depending on the play. A goalkeeper can't pick up the ball with their hands if a player from their team back passes the ball back to them on foot. If so, then it'll be considered a foul. The goalie must receive the pass and play by foot like the rest of them and pass it or clear it away. However, if the goalie receives a back pass by a header or chest, then they can catch the ball with their hands. This also doesn't mean that you can set up your back pass by kicking the ball in the air and heading it for your keeper to pick up. You can get booked for it. If the goalie releases the ball after catching it or holding it in their hands, then they can't pick it up again. If the goalie is caught doing it, then the referee will award the opposing team a free kick outside the penalty area. Years ago, the penalty box was so much smaller than how we know it now. So back then, the free kicks were so close to the net, and the human wall blocking it was basically blocking the whole thing. It's almost impossible for the ball to get through. A crazy rule in football is if there are no corner flags, then the game cannot proceed. One of the only times this happened was in the 1974 World Cup in a match between Germany and Holland. The officials forgot to put the flags out, so the referee had to delay the game. But the staff added the flags. The game was okay to start. It was only recently that teams can substitute 5 players during a game. For a very long time, teams were only able to switch 3 players during a match. Changing 5 players means excellent squad rotation for any upcoming matches, especially if the team is competing in multiple competitions at the same time. But there was a point in time where no team was allowed to substitute their players even if one of them was injured. Before 1965, if your team had 11 players on the pitch, then don't expect the bench to help you out. I don't think there was a bench to begin with. Getting substituted is annoying, especially if you're on a roll. But if you refuse to be subbed, then actually nothing happens. You would think that the ref will book you or give you some kind of warning, but nope, the game will resume and the player will be left on the field. While FIFA may not penalize you, your club can fine you and you can lose some of the respect from your team members, the coaching staff, and fans. No rule suggests you must put your first or last name on the back of your jersey. You can put whatever you want, as long as it's not offensive. Footballers tend to put their nicknames they've had since they were young. There's no way you can score a goal directly from a throw-in. That's when the ball is out of bounds, so the players have to restart by throwing the ball back in play with their hands. So, if you're trying to be clever and throw the ball directly into the opposition's net without any of your players touching it, then it will just be a goal kick for their keeper. If you're up for a penalty kick and you're face-to-face with the keep, then you can pass the ball if you want to. This only works if a foul takes place in the game and not during the shootout at the end of some games. You run and before shooting the ball, pass it to your teammate who can score and take all the glory. If a player scores 3 goals in a game, then it's called a hat trick, and that player can take the ball home. If a player scores 2 goals, then it's a brace. You can get booked for taking off your jersey during a celebration or at any point during the game. If a player scores a goal and it's disallowed but the player took off his jersey as a celebration, then he will still get booked. If a ball hits a player's hand or arm inside the penalty box, it's an automatic penalty for the opposition team. No, not necessarily. It depends on the play and where the hand is positioned. If the attacker shoots the ball inside the penalty box and the defender is using his arms to defend himself, then it's not a penalty. However, if the defender stretches out his arms to obstruct the ball's projection, then that would be a penalty. Fouling someone is always tricky. And how does the ref know when to hand out a yellow card or when he just gives a free kick and lets the play continue? Here are some red lines that will surely get you a red card. A slide tackle is a foul. However, if you manage to slide the ball instead of aiming for the legs, then the game can continue. It's an automatic red card if you do a slide tackle with both legs from behind. It's also a red card if you accidentally kick someone dangerously. It's impossible to score an own goal from a free kick. If the player decides to pass back to the keeper and somehow the ball goes inside, then the goal won't be awarded. That's only if the only player who touched the ball is the free kick taker, so hold the celebrations.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.